And welcome to the Weekend Stakes Preview Show. Today we are diving into the weekend's biggest stakes races with expert analysis, top picks, and everything that you need to know to stay ahead of the game. We've got you covered with this weekend's top stakes races, and there's some good ones, Oldie. We've got Gulfstream Park with some big races, Santa Anita with some big races. Where are we going to start?
Let's start with Gulfstream Park.
Okay.
And the Grade 3 Here Comes the Bride Stakes.
Here comes the Bride Stakes. All right, we'll do that. Big shout out to everybody in the room. What's up, Curtis and Bluegrass Dan, my man. Mark, what up, Mark? Mark is in the coaching class today, and it was a good coaching class today, Oldies. Some of these, sometimes you feel like you've taught a lot in a class. Like that was today's class. Like it just felt good. It felt like there was a lot of great opportunities for learning lessons. And so if you guys are new to EquinEdge and you want to learn how to use the platform, then please feel free to join the coaching classes. There's 4 a week, one in Spanish if you so wish to join with Alfredo. And Chris does a class on Fridays. I do Thursdays, and Justin does Wednesdays. And so we've got tomorrow. We've got the Road to the NHC with 2022 NHC champ David Harrison. And, of course, we got you're going to be there. I'm going to be there. David's going to be there. Justin's going to be there. We're going to be doing shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from the NHC as we are a sponsor of that. And, Oldie, you've got like what? Only one more chance to try to qualify, right?
Yeah, pretty much one more weekend. So
yeah.
Otherwise, it's first chance, last chance for me.
Yeah. All right, let's get going. What's up, Alex? Let's run the race. I'm on the 6 horse here, Civetta, Oldie. I thought this horse was going to be awfully tough to beat. Top EquinEdge pick, 31% to win, 9-5 EE morning line. Alex, I was just going to say, I'm like, man, I have not seen you in forever. I hope everything is going good, my man. It's really good. This is Alex is one of the OGs. I don't know if you remember, Oldie.
For sure, Scotty, for sure. Good to
it's
have
weird.
Alex back.
It's neat to see some of the OGs coming back lately. I don't know. Must have been something I said. I don't know.
I don't know what you said, but it was probably pretty funny, whatever it was. So
I don't know, but it was neat to have some of the OGs. We got to get Deb Martin back in the house. We got to get. I think I need to just pay Deb just to be a part of get on the chat room and stay there all day long. I don't know, right? It's just something about when we have Deb on. Like, remember, she started the entire. Like, she started hitting stuff when no one else was hitting anything at the beginning of EquinEdge. You remember that?
Yes, absolutely. I remember a Golden Gate ticket, if I remember correctly.
She did a Del Mar ticket. I think it was like $21, and she hit for like $22,000 or $23,000. And it's good to see you, Alex. Dan remembers that. Speaking of OGs, okay. Let me get into Civetta real quickly. And so if you look at this horse, it had trouble 2 back. This is one of the things that I love to find with horses, Oldie. This one found a way to win the race. And not only that, against 10 other horses for Brendan Walsh. And Irad's back aboard. He's been aboard the last couple of races. And then last time out, going 8 furlongs, this horse had some trouble. It was wide, and it didn't have the best of trips, but ran a really good race, is lightly raced. And that was also the first time against some really solid horses, tougher group than what's lined up in here, going a mile. And it comes back at a mile here. This horse is going to take some beating and the reason I like her over the 5-horse Vixen is because I think Vixen is the type of horse that needs to be on or near the lead, whereas Civetta doesn't have to be on the lead.
All right, so I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I have the 6 Civetta as my second pick, but I think Vixen, from a class standpoint, is just better than this group. Having been in 2 grade 1s and having beaten a group of 70s last time out. And yes, I think needs to be near the lead, but I think that the horse can rate enough that Johnny V's going to get it the trip here. And, with a similar pace number to Savannah, just, oozes a little more class. I like the cut back in distance back to a mile as well.
Yeah. So there's a look at Vixen right there. Faced an 82 group, had the 13 votes in the Breeders' Cup. That wasn't a bad race, no doubt about it. And last time out, it won pretty easily off of a short layoff for Mark Cassie. Velasquez is back aboard. I mean, it looks like these two horses in the race. We'll see. I think whoever gets the better trip, but the 5 is a player as well, no doubt about it. But is there a long shot plan here that we should be looking at?
Yeah, so you eliminated it, but I think that the 9 horse Bella V Nino for Safi, it has a real long shot look. Well, let's not worry about the 54 SOR in that last race. Instead, let's look at the previous time it went a mile in the Ardere or whatever the end of that stakes is that's abbreviated there, where it finished second. And also, you mentioned, that Vixen needs to be on or near the lead. I thought there was a lot of pace in this race.
Yeah.
And I thought there's a possibility a horse like this could benefit from that. And if not win, gets a piece, finishing second or third, running really strong late. And to me, the 9 was the best of the late runners. It's Safi, you get to Torrey, so you might be able to negotiate a trip there to get a little better position as well, and maybe gets this horse over the top.
Yeah, I could actually see that. I think maybe I judged this horse prematurely when I looked at the last couple of races. First of all, you can probably throw out it didn't seem to care for the 7.5 furlongs. The GSR was 67. It didn't care for the synthetic all that much. The GSR was 56. I was a weaker group last time out, but did beat 11 other horses. Is going to have to improve, but seems to have some back class. But that was against 2-year-olds. We'll see if this horse is up to the challenge. Yeah. But I think you're spot on with a possible long shot. What about Special Aviator, the 8 horse? I thought I liked the EquinEdge long shot. I thought this one deserved a fair look. This one had some trouble last time out, and it wasn't a big field. And throw out the race 2 back, that 76 group. That horse wasn't ready for that. Yeah. And plus that was off a layoff. I think this one's a little bit of a sneaker as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's another sneaky horse, and Crichton with Edwin, he puts Edwin on a lot of live horses too. So it would not surprise me to see that horse outrun its odds, and it's another one that's going to be running late there if this case goes really hot with Classic Q and Vixen and Savannah on the front end.
All right, so you're on what's going to most likely be the favorite in the race, the 5 horse Vixen, and then I'm on the 6 horse. Let's see here. All right, let's put that down there, and then I'm just going to put you down for 5, 6, 9, and I'm on 6, 5, 8. All right, I'm going to take the picks. Okay. Let's go to where are we going next? Race number 7, which is the Colonel Liam Stakes, $220,000 for 3-year-olds. Let's run this race. What's up, David Harrison, 2022 NHC champ, right there. Looking forward to seeing you in Vegas tomorrow. By the way, my horse Sarkis, is running, and running in race number 7 at Gulfstream Park. Did you take a look at my race?
I haven't had a chance to take a look at your race yet, but I'll do it right now while the race.
I want your opinion on Sarkis. But David, I've been preparing, my man. I've been preparing for the NHC. So looking forward to seeing you down there, David. Let me tell you something. He starts preparing for the NHC 2-3 months ahead of time. And so, yeah, in fact, David and I are talking about doing a show for people that are, going to the NHC for the first or second time to help them. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dan, are you serious, Dan? Really believe that? I hope Dan's right. I hope he's right.
I think the biggest risk there is just that the one horse gets away.
Yeah.
There's
There's some speed in there. Sarkis is training great. He's training great.
And my other comment would be that I'm a little concerned about the jockey there as well.
He's super like consistent though. Like he just doesn't get a lot of opportunity. So I think that here, since we're talking about it, let's just go there real quickly. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here. And then Gulfstream Park, race number 7. So here he is right here. When you run the race simulator, what I thought was the 7 and 8 horse were decent horses, but they don't have any speed. So in the 4 is fast, but the 4 is not a good breaker. At least it wasn't in the first 2 races, breaking 9th. So I was hoping he broke slow, and if so, then we're sitting right behind the 1, 2, and 3. So what's up, Cheech? There's another OG. Wow, all the OGs are coming out today. What's going on here?
It's a big weekend with all the stakes.
It sure is. So I thought that he's doing good. The last race, up at Tampa Bay, that was like a really salty group. And we were running him, but we didn't really think that we had much of a chance in there. And he ran good, but those horses were pretty solid. So a lot of droppers were coming into that race, and they've been facing some really good horses. But Luca Panici, when given the opportunity, and in fact, I was just going to say, Panici's been aboard Sarkis in the mornings, and he has a lot of confidence in Sarkis. So we'll see what happens. But it just depends on who shows up. But I will say this: how that one turn dirt races are at Gulfstream Park. Like you can't have wide posts. You can't. You just don't do well.
You can't be slow either.
No,
if you break slow, you're done.
Yeah, if you break slow, you're done, and you have an outside post. That's just not a good place to be.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Speaking of hats, Alex, if anybody going to the NHC, we've got some beautiful hats, don't we, Oldie?
We do, yeah. Chris did some great work on some special hats for the NHC, so looking forward to being able to show those off.
We've got coffee mugs, white ones, black ones. We've got incredible hats. We have pens, EquinEdge pens. And then what else do we have? We have what are those things called again?
We have the tumblers.
What are they called? Tumblers. Yeah, the tumblers. Yeah. So we've got the tumblers as well. What's up, Wes? And the OGs are coming out today.
We have hats. We have brooches. We have pterodactyls.
So, Scotty, a couple things.
Yeah.
The run-up has been increased at Gulfstream.
The what has?
The run-up. The run-up has been increased at Gulfstream for races at 1 1/16 and 1 1/8.
Really?
They've added 85 feet to the start of all 1 1/16 races and 53 feet to the start of all 1 1/8 races. The thought here is that will uncompromise horses with an outside post.
From the outside posts?
Just a handicapping thing. And yes, we have black mugs, we have white mugs, we have tumblers, we have really nice hats that are embroidered, and we also have wristbands for those of you who will be there and want to go to the open bar that Scotty will do on Friday night. So
there's going to be
show up.
EquinEdge only, subscriber only, cocktail hour, I'll call it, or cocktail couple hours, sponsored by Scotty. So everybody say thank you, Scotty.
Hey, you know what, guys? Since we have so many OGs in here, let me show you guys some of the. We think we're going to have it released before the NHC, but let me show you guys how this is coming along. So this is the new handy view, and so you're going to be able to click on results. It's almost getting there. It's almost done, and you'll be able to see results for each race. It'll be in order of finish, of course. So that's there, and you're going to be able to see the time of the race. You'll be able to see any claims that are here. You're going to be able to sort now. So you can sort, if you want, by the dirt, surface, or track, and then we're gonna have meet records as well for the jockey and trainer, and then you can get rid of that. And then what else? Oh, you're gonna be able to. It's not up there yet, but you're gonna be able to see horses that have faced each other in past races. So be able to click on that. Oh, here's a good one. So all the approved tracks, and we have approved tracks. I want to say we've got like 20 of them now. You're going to be able to watch race replays right there from the past performances, and you're going to be able to also watch the races live. So like, who are we approved from up here? Nobody up there, but let's just say Gulfstream. We're approved by Gulfstream for let's just say tomorrow's races, and Gulfstream Park, and you can see, you'll be able to click on here and you'll be able to watch the race live. So that's new. You won't have to click on tabs. You're going to see trainer stats here. We've added, you guys, 50 new trainer stats, and that's going to show up all right here. That's applicable for each horse. You'll be able to see all the analysis, the horse analysis or the workout analysis from Dan here, and you just go from horse to horse to horse, and it's going to be that easy. So yeah, good stuff coming, and there's a lot of other things on here as well that they still have to do. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. So thought you guys might want to see that. Thank you, Dan.
Chris, we will hold back, some mugs, some hats, and some tumblers, and we'll give that away on the show. So stay tuned.
You guys. There's another feature that's going to be maybe 2 months from now. It's called the link feature, and you're going to be able to click on a horse. Let's see, I'll show you. You can be able to click on a horse, like let's just say tax implications, and then you'll be able to click on the past performance of it, and it gives you the same race view and handy view, and you can look at the competition and see, okay, well, Sacred Wish won that race. And then you can look at Sacred Wish, and you can see how that horse is done. You can look at, the payouts and whatever you want to look at, but you can also, if we have approval, you can watch the race replays. We don't have approval for Del Mar yet, but you can see all the horses like Gina Romantica got second in that race. You can see what that horse's win percentages were. So you can get a closer look into it. It's kind of like the formulator of the DRF. It's like that. So that's coming in a couple of months from now. So moving in the right direction. Yep, moving in the right direction. So
cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. All right, so Oldie, we are, let's get back to business. And we did race number 4. I think we're on race number 7. This is the Colonel Liam Stakes like we talked about. And what did you like in here?
So I went off the board here, and I went with George Briggs, the 4-horse.
Okay.
You're showing race 12 though right now.
Oh, hold on here. I thought that was weird. Okay, let's see. That's the wrong. I got the wrong site. Hold on. 3-1 race number 7. Okay, here we go. Let's run the race. Okay, so who are you on?
I'm on the 4-horse George Briggs.
Okay.
Or Chad Brown with Rosario aboard.
How come?
Broke a little slow as a maiden, first time out at Aqueduct. And, I think we'll break better this time, but still won by almost 3 lengths in that race. And to me, that shows that horse has room for improvement. Did this just quit? And did I just? Oh no, you're still there. My screen went for a second there. Scotty,
okay, so this horse,
so
this horse broke its maiden.
Broke its maiden by almost 3 lengths. As essentially a closer, I think this horse is going to show more speed second time out, because it was really broke pretty much second to last there. And I think it's got a little more tactical speed there. It's Peter Bratt, it's Chad Brown, and I just don't think there's anything all that great in this race.
Yeah.
And I think it's there for a horse like this who I think is on the improve and is going to take a step forward to take this race.
Yeah. What about the 10 horse? This is the one that I was leaning towards. It didn't break very good last time out. It didn't run a bad race in the Pilgrim. It's its first race as a 3-year-old, and I believe it's getting Lasix for the first time. I don't think it's had Lasix. No, so it's not getting Lasix. So it obviously doesn't have a bleeding problem, or else you would have given him that. Blinkers are added, and from the outside. But this horse seems to have some talent. It's training very nicely in the mornings for Abreu, and I thought the EquinEdge long shot deserved a long look.
Yeah, so I took like you said, a long look at this horse. My concern is that they're putting blinkers on because they think the horse is losing focus in the stretch.
Yeah.
And my experience with that is that almost never works. If you want the horse more forwardly placed, the blinkers tend to have more of an effect that I really haven't seen, that kind of improvement in terms of losing focus. Because the horse just missed last time out, but was probably passing tired horses.
Yeah.
And, for me, it's not the kind of horse that I normally would go with, but that I think it definitely has a chance there. And, I actually wasn't sure what to make of the top choice Mia Baggio there, because I'm not sure that horse wants to run without the lead, and I'm not sure it's not better meant as a sprinter on synthetic.
Yeah, this is a really wide open race. You've got musical jockeys in this race. Like, why you're taking Edwin Gonzalez off, I don't know. He's done nothing wrong on this horse, and he's not in this race. So I thought that was interesting as to Edwin getting off of this horse. I think you've got a big shot with the 4. I saw the 4. I liked it. I thought Emergence deserved a long look as well. This one broke its maiden for Brad Cox, and he's always dangerous, of course. And this is a very competitive race. What about walking going gate to wire? That's a possibility, right?
Right, and that's also another reason I didn't like the 8 wasn't my top pick there, was because I thought that maybe Walken gets the lead here, and the 8 gets a little rank and doesn't like being not being on the lead there.
Yeah. Well, and you can see that the 6-horse Forge Steel is pretty fast, so it probably needs the lead as well. I thought the 3-horse deserved a look. This horse had some trouble in its last race, and it came through and beat an easier group last time out. But these lightly raced horses can come back and do well. I don't love the 10. I took a chance on the 10. The jockey trainer combinations 0 for 6. I decided to go with the 10, but I'm not trying to push anybody towards anything in this race. I don't love the 10. So, but and we'll see. I don't usually like equipment changes going into a big race. To me, that's usually kind of a desperate move. So I agree with you. But I also didn't really love anything in here, and I wanted to get a price, and I thought that this horse might end up going off at 6, 7, 8 to 1. And it had as good a look as anybody else too. Real quickly, I want to answer Winning Stride. I don't know if you've been on the site of late, but the Bruno Works, if I'm being transparent here, there just was not enough Bruno Works, and I don't know if you're looking at the analysis, but we've got analysis at 4 to 5 different tracks almost every single day, and that analysis has been a big hit. So I don't know if you're seeing that analysis, but essentially when I'm looking at Bruno's picks right now, I'm seeing he's basically making selections and picks, and so we decided to go away from it and do our own analysis on horses. Oldie does analysis right now. Oldie, you've been doing Oakland Park and some Tampa Bay, and Justin's been crushing Fairgrounds. David's doing Aqueduct. And then we have Jake that's been doing Turfway Park, and he's been killing it as well. So I do Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita when I can. So, but all right. Let's see. I think that's anyways, so for what it's worth, the works now seem generic. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But no, I mean, I guess it just depends. Everybody has their thing. If you've seen Justin's works, Justin's been killing it of late, and so I think, you know, I don't know, Oldie, what is your thought on the workouts? We've been getting a lot of positive feedback on most of the workouts.
Well, I think maybe Winning Stride's talking about the workouts versus the analysis. So I think he means, like, let me see if I can find one here.
We try, you know, one of the things that we try to do is not be generic. We talk about that a lot, don't we?
So go to race 8 for a second.
Okay, race 8 where?
At Gulfstream.
Right here. Okay. Yeah.
And go to the 1-horse Queen MG.
Okay.
So scroll down. He's talking specifically about the green and
oh, he's talking about the actual workout. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. No. You got to see the analysis here. I'll give you an example of analysis. So let's see here. That was on the 26th. So yesterday I did analysis on on the 5 horses, an example. Here it like this. There you go. So I put on there, had a brutal trip in his debut, going 5 wide. You're going to get more of this. We're all doing stuff like this, but we're trying to do it only on races that we really like a horse, instead of just putting generic notes. We're trying to put it on, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 horses in a race, or maybe no horses in a race if we don't love it. And anyways, it's stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, just the workout notes are all that we're trying to do with the workout notes. You're going to be able to put your own workout notes in there. What we try to do on the actual workout notes themselves is just give you how a horse is. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. On the workout notes, we're testing that out right now. What we're trying to do is just give you feedback whether the horse is training good or not. But maybe we need to do a better job of that, and we're looking at that. So we appreciate that feedback, though. But one of the things is we want to try to do it on, you know, we want to have analysis on a lot of horses instead of just a few horses is what we're trying to do anyways. So it's going to build up and get better and better. Okay, Oldie, where we go?
Gulfstream race 8.
Gulfstream Park, race number 8. Okay, just to confirm, race number 7, you're on the 4 horse. I'm lukewarm on the 10 horse Smooth Breeze. And then we're going to go to the basic Tipton.
Yeah, and I was 489 there to be exact.
489. Okay. And then I was on Lucara here. Who are you on here?
I'm also on Lucara. That's one of the rare times you and I agree on a horse.
Yeah, I actually really like Lucara. I think this horse is special, and I think she's got a really bright future, actually. And she didn't run good in the Breeders' Cup. I didn't see the race or watch it, but she didn't run very good in that race. Didn't seem to really have any issues. Can she improve and can she win a grade 2?
I think that she has a big shot here, and she's shown the ability to be very tactical, run from the back or run from the lead. So I feel good about her from pretty much any position in this field. I just think that was a class issue. She was in there with Immersive and Quiet Side and some of the other big name fillies in there. And maybe he wasn't ready for that race coming out of the Pocahontas, where I think heading into the Oaks has had more of a chance to mature and face some better horses.
Well, and what's interesting is she took a while to break her maiden, and they kept running her sprinting, like short sprinting, 5 furlongs, 5.5. And she's like, I just don't like that. And then they stretch her. They finally get to to get to 7 furlongs, and look what she does. And then if you look at her Handy View Plus or GSR Plus, excuse me, look, I mean, top distances are 10, 10 and a half, and 9. Like, and I think they're finally, you know what I mean? Aside from facing a really tough field like Immersive, like you're talking about in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, this horse really hasn't done anything wrong. And so, what's up, Jeff? Anyways, what about the Queen's MG, who might even be your favorite in the race? I don't like how she's not finishing her races in the last 3 races. I know she's been off of a layoff, and she faced a pretty good field last time out, but and I think she's going to run a huge race, but like she's just not finishing. And maybe it's the layoffs. Maybe she's doing really good right now. She's training great.
Well, Scotty, the GSR is low for this kind of race. I kind of wonder if she's a sprinter and maybe peaked as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
She's definitely has a shot. This is not a strong field. You know, as a 70 grade 2, that's a very low SOR.
Yeah.
On it, but I just wonder if maybe she has peaked already, and what we're seeing is just kind of what she is now.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't know. You know, she went to 6.5 furlongs in the Adirondack. I don't know. I can't say that. That's Adirondack. That's a tough one though. But anyway, she won that race by 9 lengths, right? So, so who knows? I mean, she's the top EquinEdge pick. I think the other one we have to look at here is on this horse off the layoff for Chad Brown. I mean, you can't eliminate anything Chad Brown's done, and I'm kind of the opinion, you know, you run against 2-year-olds, but now all of a sudden you're facing 3-year-olds, and it's a different ball game. But I mean, she certainly fits on class, doesn't she? She
does, but I just can't, from a run style standpoint at Gulfstream with no speed. I just don't think there's enough speed in this race for her.
Yeah, I think
definitely not at 9 to 5. No, thank you.
Yeah, she's 3-1 in the EE morning line. Here's the thing too. Not only does she not have any speed, I mean, that's about as bad as you're going to see breaking. Like, she breaks last in every race except for this one. She broke second last. I mean, she's just a poor breaker, but I mean, she's clearly talented though. Clearly, I mean, she runs consistent no matter what surface she's on. The GSR Plus grid says turf or dirt doesn't matter, and we're seeing that here with her performances. But I just think she's running into a couple of nice horses, and while she's very, very nice, maybe she'll break good. Tyler tries his hand, gets aboard for the first time, and we'll see how she breaks. But you're right. I mean, she's projected to be. Let's see how she's projected to be 5 lengths back, 5.5 lengths back at the first call. And the, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, all right. So we're both on the 4 horse.
So I do have a long shot for you here.
Okay. Bring it.
So the 3 My Denise with 2 S's. And getting back to, so first of all, got absolutely destroyed at the start in the last race.
Yeah.
So just throw that race out. That's why she broke 11th. She doesn't break that slow. You see that she's shown tactical speed in the past too. So I don't think she's going to be as far back. I think the pace numbers being affected by that race. And she did win. She did beat 72 as a group better than this. You know, back before the layoff as a 2-year-old. So why, you know, at 20 to 1, there could be value on this horse, if not on top, underneath for second or third.
Yeah, you know, it's not easy to break this horse didn't even break its maiden, actually. It won the non-graded stakes race over at Gulfstream Park. And the look at that restricted race looks like for Florida. I don't know if that was Florida Breds or not.
No, that's an open stakes race.
That is open, isn't it? It doesn't have an S on there. at 35-1 won that race. And that's, you have to have some sort of talent to be able to do that. But yeah, I could see that. What about the EquinEdge long shot Frida?
Again, I think Frida needs the lead. So if Frida gets the lead, Frida, I think, could be really dangerous there.
Yeah.
The question on several of these, though, is the GSR, do they really want the extra distance here?
Yeah.
Where Lacara is an 82, is a GSR square, and we know has already gotten 2 turns and won a 1-turn mile. So, that to me, David always talks about not taking a horse the first time it does something as well.
Dylan Davis is off the 6 and the 7 to stay on Lacara. And just to put this race, put this horse in perspective, you guys, look, just a hand ride here over at Saratoga, okay? And you're beating maiden special weights at Saratoga, some of the best maiden special weights, and wins by 8 going away for fun. Then breaks 9th in a grade 3 race and wins first time out while going 6 in the 6th path. Then goes in the Breeders' Cup. I don't think it had enough experience. I don't think it was ready for that. Just too tough a field. Throw that out. And then comes back off a layoff and just absolutely destroys this non-graded stakes field. It's going to take a lot to beat Lacara. It really, really is. I mean, this one is a nice horse. The Queen's MG is nice. But I think they could be all up against it. Ballerina de Oro, the same. I don't know how you beat Lacara and you're going to be breaking last. You're going to be projected well back. I think this race is between the 1 and the 4. And I'm hoping, because here's the thing. we might get 9-5 or 2-1 on Lacara. And that's a really good thing. Like it could be worth a win bet because the 6 horse and the 1 horse are in there.
Yeah, no, and the 6 horse will take money because of the connections for sure.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to single the win or lose. I'm going to single the 4, but I think the 4 is going to win this race. Okay.
Great.
Let's go to race number 9. So, look, I watched this past performance of the Pegasus World Cup Invitational, and I razzed back aboard for Pletcher. Major Dude's a very, very nice horse. What I like? I like to cut back to 8.5. I really don't think this horse loves. First of all, that was just a crazy tough group last time out, right, Oldie? So, and now I like to cut back too. This horse in 5 tries, going 8.5 furlongs on the turf, has earned $370,000. The horse is training phenomenally. I think Major Dude's going to come back and run a big race.
Major Dude was my second pick here. I'm taking a little bit of a shot here on the 10 horse Atone. Getting back to winning last time out, gets to Tory here. I think maybe they figured this horse out a little bit. And, this horse did win the Pegasus Invitational Turf in 2023. So,
yeah, this is not the same horse though. I mean, this horse. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I have a note on Major Dude from that Fort Lauderdale effort where I had it noted that it was a perfect ride for my Irad.
Yeah.
And otherwise, the horse doesn't win there, and we're maybe having a different discussion.
This is such an easier group than what Major Dude faced last time out. Like, it's not even close. And I believe that, by the way, I no doubt. But that was also off of a little bit of a layoff, right? And also, I just don't think this horse is great going 9 furlongs. I think the cut back to 8.5 is going to be better, I think. But I could see that. But look, I mean, this horse has got 7 wins in 19 races with 3 seconds and 2/3. I mean, it earned $1.1 million. It's taken 37 races for Atone to do that, and Atone's an 8-year-old gelding supposed to be Major Dude in Major Dude's prime. It's just like on paper, sometimes we can get caught up and and all this stuff. But and I don't think the 6 is good enough. I think the 6 is a non-graded stakes horse, and I think that Fort Washington is a decent long shot, but this is a horse that's right there every time and never gets there. I think probably that would be my long shot play. Probably go off at 4 or 5 to 1. Did break from the 12 hole last time out, and that wasn't a terrible effort. But this is not a tough field, and I will single Major Dude as well. I think Major Dude just finds a way to win this. Plus, it's 6 to 5 on the EE morning line.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you my longer shot. It's not a long shot because it's only 6 to 1. Is Silent Heart, the Scotty long shot, the 5 horse.
Okay.
Who should be on the lead but doesn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're talking. Look at this horse barely got through of an optional claiming, and you're looking at Major Dude, who's like, it's just not even in the same ballpark, though. You know what I mean? Like,
but how many times on the Gulfstream grass has Saya stolen a race on the front end?
Yeah. It's going to be harder to go gate to wire on the grass on Saturday because there is no rail, and so whereas the rail is just consistently out over at Gulfstream Park, and it really plays favoritism, especially when there's a big field. I mean, you can't come from behind. I mean, almost never, unless you get a perfect trip. Like, you cannot come from behind, and that's not going to be the case here. But on top of that, I mean, yeah, this horse, I mean, looks like, well, the 2 horse has some cheap speed.
Yeah.
The 2 horse could hurt the 5 horse a little bit, but other than that,
2 horses an awful breaker though.
Oh, look, you could be right about that from the sense, like, there is no speed in this race, no speed whatsoever, and here's you know what, you could be onto something here, because the reason I say that is one of the things that I love is when a horse doesn't need the lead but can get the lead. That means the horse can just sit and not even ask. Let somebody else go for that matter. And really, I could see that actually. This is a huge pace advantage for the 5, and he might even let the 2 go. If the 2 breaks good, Saez might even let the 2 go.
Yeah, but look at how bad the 2's been breaking. 7th, 7th, 10th, 12th.
5 is interesting. It doesn't have the class, but it's such a big pace advantage. It could be interesting. Yeah. Long shot. Look, I like this horse actually a little bit.
See, I've sold you on a couple today.
No, you did. I didn't realize the pace number was. If you throw out this 2 horse, look at the pace advantage this 5 has. So it's like a big pace advantage. And look at the win percentage on the horse. It's 9 to 2 EE morning line. It's the EquinEdge long shot. It's 24% to win. It's by far the top pace number, and its class is a little bit lower than Major Dude in Fort Washington, but it's right there.
Agreed.
The other thing you have to consider, Oldie, too, is that the class of Major Dude could move Major Dude way up, and that's a thing too, where if you have more class, it's going to move you up. The rail is not out. The rail is going to be at 0 in this race. From what I'm. Oh no! It says 59 feet. Really? Would they really run this race?
They're splitting the 2 turf courses.
Huh?
They're splitting the turf courses instead of having 1 turf course.
Yeah.
So 59 is going to be, I think 45 is the lowest setting for the outside course when they split it that way.
Yeah.
So
but still, no matter what, though, it still plays towards speed on both of them.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you want to dump inside closers struggle when the rail's out at Gulfstream.
Yeah.
You can actually close from the outside. You cannot close from the inside.
No. It's tough to even on the outside, but it's a lot easier than the inside. The inside's impossible. Yeah, for sure. So why is it showing 59 feet? I'm still confused by that. Like, is it going to be at 59 feet?
Yeah. So that they have 2. That they separate. That they use that to separate the since they don't have an inner and an outer anymore,
Yeah.
they actually take the rail. So one side will be 0, the other side will be 59.
So they are splitting it. And so do we know whether this will be on the inside or outside?
That's the outside. So closest to the synthetic.
On the Tapeta course at 1 mile and the 16th, if it's taken off the grass.
Yeah. Yeah, so that will be closest to the synthetic, where the
So it's on the
0,
outside.
yeah, the 0 rail is closest to the pond.
Okay.
So to speak.
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right, so you're on the 10 horse, a tone.
Yeah, so I am 10-4-5 there.
10-4-5. Got it. All right, let's skip on to the $160,000 Very One Stakes, Grade 3. I reluctantly went with the French bred Lahaina, but I mean 7 wins in 19 tries. I'm thinking Dylan Davis might have a good day tomorrow or Saturday. So I'm a big fan of Dylan Davis. I often say that him and Manny Franco are the best 11% jockeys in the country. I just don't get it. Like, they just seem to win so much, yet their win percentages are so low.
Yeah, no, but again, you seem to be picking my second pick. That's your top pick. But I think La Mahina has a big look here. I didn't really like this field. I thought this was kind of a very weak field for a Grade 1.
Yeah, it is. It's a Grade 3.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Grade 3. Sorry, 1 came out of my mouth. But for me, Scotty, I was on the 5 Beach Bomb for one of the 2 Graham Motion horses here. Again, Saya's aboard. It was a big South African horse coming over. Ran in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf and the Rodeo Drive. Has run against better horses than this. And I thought with the class relief here, it might be sitting on a big race.
Yeah. Let's see here. One of the things I look for, and we talked about in the class today, is like, and this horse is likely doing very well. The workouts they're kind of slow, but they don't need to be fast. The horse is clearly fit, and the horse has not had such a long layoff that it's not going to come back fit. But what's interesting here is from this layoff here, and you see the layoff lines. So from February of last year to August, got a nice second place finish against a decent non-graded stakes field. Mm-hmm. Then immediately moved up to 10 furlongs, which it moved up in GSR, was only 1% to win, and it got third. So, and then it goes in the Breeders' Cup Mare Turf, and only lost by 3.5 lengths, breaking from the 10 hole. And so the horse in this Grade 3 fits here. So I could completely see this horse running a good race. Again, I think you're probably here. I'm a bit hesitant only because this race really is wide open. The One Forever After All is an absolute player, like absolute player.
Yeah, I mean, this was the most wide open race I think I saw here. That this is on the inner, so there's no rail.
Yeah.
So
this horse, Oldie, this horse just seems to like cause its own trouble. Though, look at this: checked hard at the 3/8, rated back, went to the 3 path. And there was only 6 horses in the race. Here, ended up winning the race and went 8 wide. I mean, probably this is the horse to beat, but I don't know. Like, how low of a price are you willing to take? It's going to probably be. It might even be your favorite.
And I don't even know if it's better than its stablemate here, the 3 Queen Regent.
Yeah, I was looking at this horse very carefully. I mean, look, I don't like horses that are just right there and just never get there. Like, and this is one of those horses. I don't know.
I mean, you're getting Dettori back aboard there. He rode
Yeah.
2 back. But, and
I
again,
mean, go ahead.
I was going to say that this is a paceless race, too.
Well, the thing about it is that we can get caught up sometimes in the third place finishes, the fourth place finishes, in this case, the fifth place finish, 2/3. But when's the last time this horse actually won a race? And that was against a 58 group at 32%, and it won by a half a length.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see, and show me what you've won. And you're right there. The 3 in my mind doesn't even compare to the 8. It's not even comparable. The one horse.
And I was talking about this the other day too. When horses don't have tactical speed, and you were mentioning the one, they make their own trip trouble because they don't have the speed to get out of it. And that's why you see the same horses have trip trouble over and over again.
Well, and the one horse has 10 second place finishes for $570,000, right? Money earned. But and the 8 horse has got 7 wins in 19 races. Let's take a look at the let's take a look at this GSR here. So of the horses, the 8 horse at least has 2 wins. None of the other horses have at 11 furlongs have more than 1 win, and that's the 6 horse and the 7 horse, and that was for cheaper competition. What about the EquinEdge long shot? I thought this horse was very interesting. It had some trouble in its last couple of races. It had a layoff last time out, but it only lost by a half of a length against 11 other horses. I mean, certainly this you can't sleep on Pletcher too, because maybe this horse who has a couple of layoff lines, maybe he's got this horse running good right now, and she's won $500,000. So I mean, she's training forwardly. I don't know. What do you think about her?
So I was actually looking at her too. I think she may end up on the lead. Like I said, this is a paceless race, and she's done her best running on or near the lead. So I think that Johnny V might get her out of the gate, and they might go where I think maybe the 2 Be My Sunshine wants to be a little further back.
Yeah.
Even though it might be naturally faster.
So I'm going to stick with the 8 horse, but I do like the 1 horse a lot as well. Forever After All. So I like the EquinEdge top picks. We've been on fire over at Gulfstream Park too, so I expect that will continue. So I'm gonna trust in the numbers somewhat, especially in wide open races like this. And often with these stakes races, this is what it looks like, but that's not a bad thing. And the reason it's not is because you get an opportunity to make some money. So I love it. Mark says the 4 might be interesting. 4-1 on the EE morning line. I'm always toggling to the trouble line. I need to see what's going on. So I'm looking at the GSR. That's a low GSR. Even for a grade 3, you can see it's got a second and a grade 3 going the same conditions. It certainly fits in here. But, when I'm looking at the top GSR horses, the 4 horses got the lowest of the GSRs.
Yeah, I just thought the 4 looked like a money burner. A lot of these are money burners, but looked like a money burner to me. You've kind of sold me a little bit on the 6, so I'm gonna change my third pick from the 3 to the 6. So I'm gonna go 5, 8, 6.
Yeah. I mean, I just have this horse second off the layoff. Todd Pletcher, Velasquez. Just something about this horse that looks sneaky to me. The other thing is too. Look, I mean, this horse lost this race. It was only 8% to win. It's not like it had a high win percentage in a wide open race. And look, it's gonna get a good trip. So at the first call, you can see that the 6 horse might even be sitting in first or rating off of the 2 horse, who really doesn't look likely for the win. So, I think the 6 could get a really nice trip in here. Yeah. Todd Pletcher, Johnny Velasquez. I mean, take the connections. Let's see what the connections win at. So they are winning at 22%. So,
yeah, it's the same connections as Fierceness and Forte.
what about this 9 horse? Bill likes this 9. I'm taking a second look at this 9. Training okay. It came here from Ireland and then went to Woodbine, so went up north and ran in a grade 1. That's a pretty ambitious spot to put the horse in, right? It had barely won a Group 3 race in Ireland, and then it goes into a grade 1 and didn't run a lick, and then goes in a grade 3 over at Aqueduct, and didn't run good there either. I mean, only lost by 2.5 lengths, but I don't know what you expect here with this 4-year-old filly. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. These horses can all of a sudden come out and run. Does have 4 wins, but that's only for $130,000. These are decent animals here. You can see also with this 3 horse, we talked about this 3, 2 wins and 13 tries. I'm thinking a minor placement at best for this horse. The 6 horse, I mean, this is a horse that is a player. And for me, I think the EquinEdge picks have it right. I think it's those horses. But I can see why you like the 5, though, Beach Bomb. I could definitely see that horse doing well. I'll tell you what I don't like about that horse, and that is in the stretch, it was 5th by under a length, and then it ended up losing ground. So other horses were stopping, and so it actually moved up in placement. That's something that I look for and I don't like. And the horse couldn't win at a 66 group, albeit it was off of a layoff. And so it's not the worst looking long shot in the world, but I think you're going to get 7-1 easily on the 5 horse. And I think it's a decent long shot, but I think the 6 is a better long shot than the 5. So, all right. Let's go to race number 11, which is the Gulfstream Park Mile Stakes, and the 1 horse Mind Frame. It looks to be a 2 horse race, at least for the win end, Oldie, between Encino, the 3, and the 1 Mind Frame. I'm going with the 1 horse Mind Frame. You?
I'm going with the 3 horse Encino.
Of course you are.
And let me tell you, my thought was exactly the same. I would have said the exact same thing to intro this race. That on paper, this looks like a 2 horse race.
Yeah. But
I think that Encino has it has won off the layoff, and this is the second race back where Mind Frame is this is the first race back, and that was that, and the potential of maybe Mind Frame being 1-5 and getting 9-2 on Encino here.
No, that'll never happen. Encino is going to go off at probably 2-1, 5-2.
I'll take 2-1 or 5-2 there too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this horse has really done nothing wrong. I mean, it broke 12th in its maiden race and barely lost. I mean, I could see that. I mean, I can see it's a 2 horse race. That's what it is. Yeah. It's Mind Frame and Encino, no doubt about it. But this is a very nice horse as well. It's coming off of a layoff, and I don't know how it might be very tough to beat a horse like Mind Frame. Off the layoff, ready to go, seems to be training very good. I mean, here's a horse that's ran second in 2 grade 1s, the Haskell and the Belmont Stakes. I mean, Encino's going to have to move. I mean, it's a nice horse, Encino, but Mind Frame's like a different ballgame for me. I think this is a really nice horse.
Yeah, I do think it's a nice horse. I don't typically like horses that get caught in the stretch and do that multiple times. That sometimes becomes a habit, but that was obviously against better than this group.
Yeah. Okay, what is Shane saying? I thought I upgraded to a weekend warrior. Now I pay much more for 3 days a week. I can handicap for only 3 days. So on weekend warrior, you get to handicap. You get Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's the way it's always been. And then, or you can buy the monthly. Let me put my charger in, Oldie. Maybe you can explain it.
Yeah. So, at the option, you have the monthly, the weekend warrior, and then I believe it's the day pass.
And then
So
you have day passes, but that's what everyone was pushing me to do. They wanted that, like, some of us just play the weekends, and some of us then, if we play more than that, then we just want the unlimited monthly. And if we want an extra day, then we'll just buy a daily. Or yeah, so the basic plan let handicap all week. We've never had anything that was for a week. We never had a week pass, honestly, Shane. So I'm not really sure, but you can email me at scottypick6@gmail.com, and we can talk further on it. But I don't recall us ever having a week plan. Do you, Oldie?
I do not know, but maybe it's a glitch in another plan. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But all right, Oldie, very simple here. It's gonna take a lot to beat either one of these horses. So I think we're looking at a really good race here. But Mind Frame is no joke. Like, Mind Frame was, I think at one point, maybe even is Todd Pletcher's top horse. So I mean,
yeah, no, right there with Fierceness, that they were working together last year.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing Mind Frame. I hope that he comes back running great. But I mean, second by a half of a length in the Belmont Stakes and almost won the Haskell. I mean, that's no joke.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to race number 12, the Honey Fox Stakes. And is the system, or at least the picks anyways, are saying that tax implications might be the horse to beat. You can't take advantage of the inside post because he has no speed. In Our Time is an interesting horse who's got a good win percentage and is going to has a pretty big pace advantage. Oldie, where are you ending up here?
So I ended up with In Your Time on top.
Okay.
And I think that the pace advantage is something to think about there, but I also think that I mentioned inside closers with the rail out. That this is that outside course, and tax implications as an inside closer.
I couldn't disagree with you more. Here's the thing for me. I don't care if you have. First of all, having an inside post when the rail's out on the inner course is going to be extremely important. But if you don't have any speed, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. You still have to try to get the trip.
The data says that inside closers don't win at Gulfstream when the rail's out.
Inside closers don't win.
They don't win. So
exactly.
For me, the one was a toss.
Oh, that's what you're saying. I thought you said you liked it. Yeah, I don't. If you have an inside post but you don't have speed, then it doesn't matter. The inside post is useless. Doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're speaking the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. So I was In Your Time, the top win percentage and top pace there. With the 6 Ozara, the long shot for Clement there, who I think has a really nice long shot look there.
Yeah.
Is moving up in class, but does have some nice non-graded stakes victories against the 72, nearly won a grade 3. So, and this isn't one of those horses that nearly wins every time. It's been finding its way to the winner's circle.
Okay. David likes likes your horse as well, In Our Time, Gate to Wire. And then Rob, you're the 7 horse. Rob, I don't know. Like I mean, the horse did break bad, Oldie, in this first race in the country, was wide and won that race, and then moved well up in class in the First Lady Grade 1 at Keeneland. And there was 10 other horses in that race and was right there at the stretch before giving up late. Maybe that was a little too much too soon, but maybe the horse has talent, going to come back and run good here. But I don't know if I can love a 5-year-old with only 7 lifetime races and 110,000 earned in a race like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What do
and my other concern on this horse is if you read the trouble line, wasn't switching leads. There's a lot there in the trouble
Yeah,
line there.
yeah,
And that this is the type of horse I think will probably find its way to trouble again.
yeah, yep. Is there a long shot besides the 6 horse where we should be looking at, like maybe like Pounce, maybe?
Yeah, no, I Pounce was my third pick there.
Okay.
And been in a lot of graded stakes races, just doesn't win a lot.
Yeah.
So, that this may be another play underneath type horse and just seems to not improve its position.
Yeah.
If you look at those last 4 races, that it either backs up in the stretch
Yeah.
or stays about in the same spot.
I
So
agree.
probably very one pace.
And how about poolside with Slim, who is going to get bet? This is a player.
Definitely going to get that. I didn't love this horse, but for Rusty Arnold, I think definitely has a shot there with
Yeah.
the
What did
morning
you?
line
Why,
at
why
92.
why do you think you didn't like it? What about this horse don't you like?
I mean, it's similar to Pounce in terms of those races it's not winning look very one pace.
Yeah.
And maybe it just caught a tired group and those was in good enough position to pounce, no pun intended, on weak and tired groups in those other races where it was just able to keep going at the same speed.
Well, but here's the thing, though, too. Like, I mean, this horse is right there in every race. I mean, this horse is in the last 4 races has won 2 and never been worse than 2.5, 2.25 lengths back, and had the 6th path here, awkward break, rank early here. I mean, this horse has had nothing but trouble. The Tory back aboard, who's I got to believe this horse is live. I mean, it's 21% to win. It's got a huge GSR. And it's 9-2 on the EE morning line in a race that's wide open. I got to believe that this horse is a major player. I had looked at this race a little bit. I'm going to go with the 4 horse.
All right. I'm going to add one other horse here, one other big long shot here. The 10 Life's an Audible for Pletcher with Johnny V again. This horse has back races good enough to win. Care or be close. If you throw out that Tropical Park Oaks race where it didn't run at all, it came back off the turf on synthetic, but you see the GSR had dropped there, comes back to turf, has won at 8.5 in a grade 3.
It's weird. It's really weird because, like, okay, are you planning for this race, or did you just all of a sudden decide, you know what, we ran in the optional claiming on the synthetic, so let's get the horse back on turf and let's go in a grade 3? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like weird. Like, it doesn't look like there's any kind of plan here with this horse. Like, that was your plan to put the horse in an optional claiming 62.5?
I'm pretty sure that was an off the turf synthetic race. Yeah. And Pletcher does this all the time with horses that are struggling a little bit, where he'll drop them into an allowance race and then bring them back into a graded stakes. Okay. It's a very common Pletcher move. It's like almost like a confidence builder.
So look at this, oldie. The new handy view is showing that. You ready for this? Look. So the race was on turf. You see that right there? There's a little little mark there, and it's green, and it has a slash through it. And so that race was on turf, and was put to synthetic. So there you go. So good call on that. Yep. All right. And we could even let's take a look. Added bonus here, you guys.
Frankie Dettori up.
What's the horse's number in this race? So he is, this horse broke from the 5 post.
Field of 7 on the Topeka track. They're all in line. And they're off. Good start from the rail for 19th Amendment, who heads off for the early advantage. Glorious Princess up and around horses to challenge for command. Life, Love, and Laughter races between horses. Down at the inside is Uphill Dance to draw within 4
We're looking at Life's and Audible, so the six horse, right?
2 at the back, New Ginia and Be
Okay.
And they run around the first turn. They're chasing Relu Gutierrez and 19th Amendment on top of length and a quarter. Glorious Princess is second. Life, Love, and Laughter third at the inside.
You know, I think it's important to look at the races like this so we can see if they're, you know, how easy is the horse doing it. And I know this isn't probably the surface it wanted, but
trailer is Bedazzle 'em. They make their way down the backstretch and head to the half-mile point. 19th Amendment has the lead while trying to back it down. Out in the middle, Glorious Princess is up now to be in within a half a length of the lead in second. Life, Love, and Laughter third at the rail.
Definitely looks comfortable.
Fourth, but she hasn't
yeah,
traveled
looks
well into the
okay.
race. Down at the inside,
Being asked right now.
From the back, New Ginia, she has traveled well into the race, and here she comes with a 3-wide sweep.
Here comes
Back
a
marker
move
is
by the
Bedazzle 'em,
horse
and
on the
front leader is
outside.
19th Amendment. Here's New Ginia with a big sweeping run on the outside from between horses. Glorious Princess.
You rarely see that sweeping run and then somebody coming.
And yeah,
Comes back.
and then the 6 came back. Like,
stretch drive, New Ginia comes away with the lead. Life's an
so, you know, this horse is a bit one pace, correct? Wouldn't you say?
With an eighth of a mile to go. Life's an Audible.
Well,
She's made hard
on the
work of
finish.
this, but now she's taken a clear lead. Life's an Audible, and jockey John Velasquez will kick clear to win it over New Ginia in second. Very close for third. Can't call it.
So, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that impressive.
I think has a little bit of a long shot look in there.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, these are some pretty tough horses.
For sure.
Yeah, these are pretty tough horses. What's up, Howard?
Good to see you, Howard.
Look at the finish. If you see, we got a vertical line here, right? And so I mean, the race looks wide open. Again, I'm full side with Slim is starting to grow on me a little bit. So I'm gonna go with 4. You're gonna go with the 8 horse Gate to Wire in our time. David Harrison likes the 8, and I know, isn't that neat, Dan? We get to watch our own race replays. That's all. We're hoping to release this next week, everybody. Yeah. The new system, and we'll be able to watch the race live as well, just by clicking there and watching that race live. And we also, you know, there's way more tools. You can see that, you know, we have the indicator of races that were off the turf as well now. So second choice, yeah, it's who's your top choice? And anyways, it looks like a tough race. The 7 horse, I think, Dan, you said you like the 7 top SOR, the 7 horse. It's been facing, let's see here, 7 horse. 7 horse. Yeah, you're the third person that said the 7 horse. What is it about this 7 horse? What are we missing, Oldie? They didn't change leads last time out. This was impressive, but it was an easier group. I mean, this horse is coming off of a layoff. Works okay.
I think Howard would agree with what I'm about to say, is that Howard and I often disagree on horses like this, and sometimes he's right, sometimes I'm right. But this is a nice price too, if you know, for a top pick at 9-2 there.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to, you know, you're kind of guessing a little bit. I mean, this horse though has been right there in Group 3. It looks like a competitive horse in this field. It is 9-1 on the E morning line, but yeah, it's a tough race. But all right, we'll leave it at that on this race. Let's go to race number 13, which is the Coolmore Fountain of Youth. So here's the Fountain of Youth Stakes, and this field did not really come up all that tough, Oldie.
No, this is kind of junk.
I'm shocked. And
Like,
then
you
the
could have
mountain,
taken
it's a grade 2. It's not even a grade 1.
you could have taken like 3 or 4 horses out of the Rebel last week and run them here, and they would
And they
win
would have won.
this
Oh,
race.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's disappointing. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. And I want to say there's another 10-to-1 plus horse here. But I just think River Thames looks really tough here for Pletcher, coming out of a premium allowance company at a 1-turn mile here, was working really well. It's 2-1 on the morning line, 9-5 on the morning line. I thought this horse looked really tough in this race based on both run style and its actual performances. Being able to rate a little bit, but having tactical speed.
I'm shocked that there's not horses from all over the country coming here to run in this race. I'm shocked.
Well, let's put it this way: the purse here is $420K. The purse at the Rebel, they're both grade 2s, was 1.2 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw that.
that's
What was the purse in this race last year? Do you remember?
I don't know. I have to go back and look, but I think it was around 500K last year. I feel like, but that's just off the top of my head.
All right, let's see what we can find here. Let's see if we can find a past performance we want to watch. So you're on the 6 horse then?
Yeah, you're on the wrong.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for that, Jonathan. Okay, sorry guys.
Virginia Derby.
Let's see here. So on 6, let's just see if we've got anything. So let's watch this race. I don't know how tough this field was, but let's go to. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the test screen. We got River Thames right there. And let's watch this race. Let's see if we can. That's not working yet. So River Thames broke from the rail. All right, let's take a look at this optional claiming 75.
They're in the gate. And they're off. River Thames is away well from an inside draw. Moving with him is Conquering Cat. These two race on. Out in the center, Rolando won't be far away. Rolando centaured in the red colors. He's up to take the lead. River Thames is now racing in second, backing off Super Times is third. Conquering Cat at the inside is away racing fourth, but he's dropped better than 6 lengths off the speed.
Oh, it was 400K last year, Chris? Thank you.
Toward the back of the field with Lou. The early trailer is Strength and Guidance. And the run past the opening quarter, their opening quarter was 23-4. Rolando has the lead with River Thames at his inside. They've gone 2.5 lengths better than Super Times. He gets the best seat in the house in third. A gap of another 4 lengths to Conquering Cat, racing together with Indecisiveness. Then it's Lou in front of Tux, and Strength and Guidance is last. Less than half a mile to run.
I don't know. I know this horse wins this race.
Whistled that second quarter.
Going away, but
has a neck advantage. River Thames
there it
moving
goes.
to him now second. Super Times. He's had a good trip. We'll see if he can parlay it from.
I mean, that was a hot pace too.
Call it 6 lengths to Lou, racing outside of Indecisiveness.
I mean, this is a mile, and they went
as they run past the top
46
of the
and 1.
3/4.
Yeah, that is
River
pretty
Thames
fast.
for a narrow lead. 3/4, 1:10-2. River Thames turns first on top. Rolando tries to stay with him second. Super Times is third. They're an 1/8 of a mile from home, but River Thames has a gear the others don't have. He's now opened a 5-length lead in a hurry.
And that finishing gear,
tiring,
Scotty.
trying to hold on to second with Super Times, but River Thames proves his debut run was the real deal. He'll win here, wrapped up by 4 lengths. Super Times is up for second. Rolando ran third. Indecisive.
Yeah,
I would argue that Gulfstream is always a speed favoring track, especially going 1 turn.
It is. Well, and the outside horses broke outward, and plus you can't be out there. You can't be wide like that too. But that was okay. I mean the horse has done nothing wrong. What I think is this is a pretty one-paced horse. That's what I'm seeing. I think we're going to look at the GSR Plus grid, and it's going to be long, 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 and it is. So I mean, and so I think this horse is probably a little green too. It was only the horse's second start, to be fair. So it looks really tough. Let's look at gate to wire. Look, I mean, this horse came back and won last time out going 7 furlongs, but this horse is not in the same league as River Thames. Yeah, I actually like the 6 horse. I'm surprised it's only 21% to win. It should be a lot higher.
And, I did think that the E long shot had a little bit of a luck as well, Neo Equos, as a underneath second pick for Safi. This is the kind of, Safi raises up every once in a while and just runs the front end off of a race like that, and the horse just keeps going. So beat 68 wasn't good enough in those Florida bred non-graded stakes that were open non-graded stakes, but were Florida sire stakes, so that they had to be sired by a Florida health sire, I guess. But and that this horse, I think, probably needs to lead at this level. But if it gets it, it could be, it's a little interesting. The warning line's telling you something there too. So definitely one to consider. And then I agree with Howard.
I think this 7 wants to lead. The 7 not only wants to lead, but the 7's a sprinter. I don't see it. This horse is a sprinter. I mean, it's facing the toughest competition it's ever faced. It looks good on paper, but it was 20 cents on the dollar to win. It was 43% to win, and it won gate to wire. And now it has to stretch out against nicer horses. I pass. Okay, what about the 8 horse? Keep it easy.
If that Afterwire is right, coming off this layoff, I mean, it's going to have to take a big step forward. And Romans is not great off the layoff. He's only 9% off the layoff.
This horse could be a sleeper, and I'll tell you why. I mean, this horse was bet to 5-2 at Saratoga in that grade 2 race, and it stumbled badly at the start. So, and then comes back off a layoff, and then won easily, and now is on another layoff. It seems to me like this is probably a seriously talented horse, and the workouts are showing that this horse, like 3 of 104, 5 of 56, 15 of 97, a bullet here, 4 of 38, and 37 to 115. This horse is training lights out.
All right, so I'm going to go out on the oldie limb here. This horse will not finish in the money.
Okay, why? Just a hunch?
Dale Roman in graded stakes races, his numbers are awful. When it's pretty much when it doesn't get its own way, it hasn't been able to overcome them. This is a very weak non-graded stakes race that it won. And then he's and I've been all over Steve Asmussen about putting his sons up and costing his connections races at Oaklawn. He's putting his son-in-law up again. And Corey Lannery's a good jockey, but he's been winning a lot more, putting up top jockeys recently, and now he's going, firing back with his son-in-law again.
Yeah,
and and it's not a knock on Corey Lannery. He's doing his best. It's just, when you get to these races, you want to see if this horse is live. You want to see Ira, Dylan Davis, Jose, Pratt, one of those top jockeys aboard, and not somebody you have to worry about a little bit.
Rob, I mean, Corey Lannery could be coming here for a haircut. I mean, listen, he's just happy to ride in this race. I guarantee you. Corey's a good journeyman, no doubt about it. But He's just happy to run in this race. I don't think it necessarily means, that this horse is all that. I don't know who's going to show up here. I think the horse seems to have talent. It seems to be training really good. It's off a double layoff. And I think that it has I don't like the post position. I think that's the post. Yeah. The draw is not good. If you look at where the 8.5 furlongs is starting, this horse is projected to be very wide around the first turn. So Corey's going to have to maneuver really good. So thanks, Dare, for letting me know about my screen. I got to remember that. Oldie, you got to tell me if I don't have it on the wrong screen, would you? Sorry, everybody. I'm not being a very good producer tonight. Okay, so Oldie, you're settling in on the 6 horse, and I'm going to settle in the 6 horse as well. All right. Let's get out to race number 14, the Mac Diarmida Stakes, 11 furlongs. Let's run this race. Let's go. Here we go. Boom.
This was another field, Scotty, that I just kept looking at it and being like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
There's just nobody in this race that likes to win races.
In what I like to do in races like that, Oldie, is I like to look at the trouble line, just find the horses that actually had trouble and are going to have a projected good trip. And you can see the race does look wide open. 2 horse has some speed. 2 horse could take them a long way. I don't think this is an impossibility, but I'm going to pass on the 2. I'm just not going to use a 50-1 EE morning line. But then even like all the way down to the 10 horse, the horse is only projected to lose by 2 3/4 lengths. Probably not likely, but I think that, let's see here. So why don't we let's take a look at these horses. Let's start with the 1 horse. Here we go. So this horse, little impact, but look at it's projected. This one, the race is tough. Projected to only lose by 1/2 of a length. Look at this.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, this just goes to show you how tough this is. That being said, I'm looking for what have you done for me lately as well. Rosario did jump aboard here for Brian Lynch, but I need to see horses that are actually doing good. Show me some horses that have actually won a grade 2 or been right there, like this one. Grade 3. What happened here? This was at Ascot, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And, off the layoff.
Yeah, so that's a tough one for Sherry DeVoe, who is 18% first race back and 20% first time with the horse. So John Sadler sent this horse over to Ascot. The horse was doing very well before that. 5 horse cash equity. That's the EquinEdge second pick. Here's a horse that's like right there in grade 3s. Grade 2, not so much. So it looks okay. The 7 horse seems cheap to me. The 8, Sugo. This horse barely got up against a non-graded stakes field. The 9 horse. Yeah, I mean, this is the horse to beat on paper anyways for Todd Fletcher, no doubt.
But you do look at that allowance race too, 9 months ago or so, and didn't win that either. Maybe this horse just does this all the time, and it doesn't matter what the race is.
Yeah, but that race was off of a layoff as well, Oldie, right?
But go back at the other allowance, at that level, it won 1 and lost 1 there.
I understand what you're saying. I get it. Yeah. Like, I mean, this horse is 6-5 EE morning line, and it doesn't look like a 6-5 shot, which makes me like it. Like, it's gonna, it's got a good GSR. It's moving up in GSR from 79 to 92. I mean, it looks like the real deal. There's not much in here, though. You're right. Like, anything can happen. Who's going to get the best trip in here? Yeah.
So I was very similar to what Howard has on the screen there. I was 9-4-8, but I went with Grand Sonata on the class.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's why you would get this horse if you sort the SOR here. And the Grand Sonata is the top class. If you look over here, Rad's off the 5-horse Cash Equity, who he barely lost on last time out for Safi. He's not getting off of Safi for no reason. And then the 6-horse, who I threw out, Be Like Clint, didn't run very good against Cheaper. That horse is probably going to get scratched. It should get scratched. When you look at the metrics, and the metrics do look at these statistics, how much do you put into the jockey trainer combination? Is that a thing you look at?
I definitely look at it from the standpoint of, is this a jockey that the trainer puts on its live horses? I also look at it from a handicapping standpoint as well. Is this, if a trainer has 2 horses in the same race, I want to know which one's his first call jockey, which one likely had the first choice there as well.
Yeah. But what's interesting is it's Todd Pletcher is taking Velasquez off of the 9-horse Grand Sonata and putting Irad. And then Johnny goes to the 3-horse. And there's no way the 3-horse is as good as the 9. No way.
But he had been riding the 3-horse. He's ridden the 3-horse a bunch of times.
He is, but you're talking.
It may be an ownership thing there.
Maybe. I think Johnny got taken off of this horse. That's what I think. I mean, this horse went 7 path, was 31-1. I mean, if anything, at 31-1, the horse outran its odds. The race before that, it lost by a length and a half against a 74 group. The time before that, the competition. This is a good horse. It's not a great horse. It's a good horse. I mean, it was a great horse. It's earned $2.1 million, but in the last 6 months, it won a race. Earned a lot of money for that race too.
Yeah.
Wow, $1.2 million with that one win in the Turf Cup over at Kentucky Downs. That was a nice win for the Connections. Wow. Whisper Hill Farms. Yeah, I mean, Irad got put on this horse. The 9 horse. I got to go with the 9. Nobody else looks good, and I got to take the class in here. I mean, part of the main competition in here is the 3-horse, and the 3-horse is not even in the same vicinity as the 9. So I have to figure that the 9's going to get the trip.
All right, I'm also on the 9 as my top pick. 9, 4, 8.
Holding 9, 4, 8. All right. We didn't really talk about the 4-horse. Just talk about that horse real quickly before we go on.
All right. So the 4-horse. Hold on. I gotta get back there.
All right. This is the one that Sherry DeVoe's taken over and Sadler had. And I mean, this horse might have even been the first or second choice in the race if it wasn't for that poor effort at Ascot, right? I mean, maybe you know what I mean? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. So just so you know, I have a note on this horse from June 11th of 2023 saying watch for turf.
Yeah.
Because they were running it on dirt and it had this huge turf GSR. And then Sadler finally got it over to the turf and it just took off. Won a couple in a row. He sent it over to Ascot, but it had run, it had come from Europe and it actually had a win at Ascot before it came to the US. So I get why they sent it over there.
Yeah.
But, Sherry DeVoe, her horses have been running really, really well the last few weeks as well. So, and I think this horse has some tactical speed and could just pounce on the 2 Prevent if Prevent stops there. And when Prevent stops, I should say.
And missed the cuts. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to pass on the 4-horse in here. It's 15-1 on the EE morning line as well. And when you look at the morning line, you don't see this very often, but look, the 9 horse is 6-5. The next closest to the 12 at 7-1, and the 5. I mean, that's pretty endorsing, honestly. Just that alone. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. 9 horse Grand Sonata. Now where?
Aqueduct, race 3, the grade 3 Tom Fool Stakes. My wife also often calls me a Tom Fool.
Which race are we going to?
Race 4.
Race 4. Okay, here we go. Got it. Let's run this thing. Short field, $180,000, and only a field of 6 horses. The win percentages are pretty equal. See you, Howard. Thanks for coming.
Good talking to you, Howard. And
go ahead.
I thought there's a lot of pace in this race. So, Scotty, I went with the 4 Bold Journey for Belmont on top there, because this is the only horse that won't be all messed up in that pace duel.
Okay. So the horse off of a long layoff, 10 months, came back to run okay, but that was a 10-month layoff. It went, like, I don't know how you go to the 8 path when there's only 5 other horses in the race. I don't know. That's really
keep in mind. It's also its running style fits Aqueduct more than it does Gulfstream too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But speed is pretty dangerous. David will tell you at Aqueduct as well. It's going to be tough for the only horse, unless they're really dueling up front. There's really not a lot of speed in here. This horse can rate, the 2 horse. This one probably needs the lead, the 5. So you're going to see the 5 horse most likely on the lead. Could the 5 go gate to wire? Doesn't look classic.
I think the 6 also needs the lead.
Let's see here.
I mean,
it doesn't really finish, does it? Yeah, I could kind of see what you're saying. It did close here on the dirt. Let's look at the trouble line here. So it was claimed for 62.5 off of Wayne Potts by Linda Rice, and she's been protecting this horse ever since. 2 second-place finishes in a row, but now goes into a grade 3. I mean,
suspicious would be my term for this horse.
Yeah, I mean, the 1 horse.
I mean, the 1 horse hasn't actually won a race on the track.
Can you pronounce the name of that horse?
Running Son of a Gun.
Running Son of a Gun. Oh, there we go. Okay. Wow. I see that clearly now.
Would be the answer to that question.
Yeah, I see it clearly now, but for whatever reason, it was not registering. So this horse got put up to a grade 3 win, 4 back, and it's been running in non-graded stakes races. In fact, that non-graded stakes race on 11/29, November 29th last year, that was a 78. So this horse has been facing some very nice horses, going to save some ground on the inside. And 2-1, 2.
Scotty, this horse hasn't actually won a race on the track since 2022. You know, it got put up there, but it lost that race by almost 6 lengths, 5.25 lengths there.
Fair enough. It sure likes 6 furlongs, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it likes to finish second at 6 furlongs a lot, too, though.
So you're going to be on the 4 horse. Michelle Nevin's got this 3 horse, who's the EquinEdge top pick. Off a half of a beat slow. And this one can definitely rate instead of good trip. I like the 3. I like the 3. And you're going to go with the 4 horse. All right.
I'm going 4-2-6.
4. You don't even like the 3 for second. Why not?
No, the three's another one of those same type of money burners. I mean, its best wins are against 64 SORs. Maybe it gets over the top this time, but I doubt it. But I just think the 4 is better than this group.
Hmm. 2-1. So the 3 horse and the 1 horse have faced each other the last couple of races, and the 1's got the better at 7 furlongs. But the 1 was also slow on 2-1. Let's see here. And then 6 furlongs on the slop. This horse did good. That's a tough race. It's a tough race. Yeah, you could see almost any one of these horses winning this, can't you?
Definitely, I think they all have a shot here.
Yeah.
Short field, so. And then, so on to race 6 at Aqueduct, the Stymie Stakes.
All right. I'm going to stick with the 3 horse. I think the 3 is going to find a way to get that done. All right. Race number 6. The Stymie Stakes. Let's run this race. So who are you on?
This is my long shot of the day, Scotty. I'm on the 1 Concealed Carry.
How come? Whoa. 50-1 EE morning line.
Also a 31-point pace advantage.
Yep.
Going 8 furlongs. And this horse has wins good enough to win here. I mean, beat 66 is 3 back on the lead. So I know if it gets an easy lead that it can get home.
Let's see. So coming in from Parks, and here it went gate to wire. Here it faced a little bit tougher group and couldn't do it. I mean, I think the cut back, it definitely didn't like 8.5. It didn't like that at all, and I could see it. I definitely could see it. Okay, and the 2 horse. Let's look at this real quickly. Tossed head, throw that out. And this horse was 70 cents on the dollar here. 1 here. I don't know what off the layoff. And then tossed head here, and now cuts back at 8 furlongs. This 2 horses. This is a long shot right here, for sure. I wouldn't leave the 2 out.
So your long shot's the 2, mine's the 1 here. I'm actually putting the 1 on top.
Yeah, I like that. Now you look at this horse who's been 7 wide in the last couple of races and still won those races here at Aqueduct. Curious what David Harrison thinks about this race. But it's won 3 of its last 4 races. What happened here at 9 furlongs? But it seems it's run really good the last couple of races. It's a hard one. I mean, it was 44% to win last time out. It barely got up the time before that, but it was 7 wide as well. 6 wins. I mean, this horse has been the money in 14 of 18 races. Yeah. Yo Daddy. The 4 horse, I don't see it. 5 horse. Here's another one that's a contender in here off the layoff, right?
Yeah, 5 horse is my second pick there.
Yeah.
For Rudy, it's faced a little better than the 3, which is probably why the 3's 4-1, so you're getting a little better of a price there.
There's a major player. Look at this. I mean, if you look at this horse going 8 furlongs, it's kind of a 8 furlong specialist, if you will, right?
Yeah.
It 1 here, 1 here, 2nd here, 1 here, 1 here. It's won 4 of its last, and with 1 second its last 5 tries. Like,
I will tell you, it only has one dry track victory. So it may be a wet track specialist.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you look at that, the September 15th race on a dry track against the 64 SOR group, it should have dominated there second off the layoff and wasn't able to get it done at that distance. They're going to 1 turn mile. So
Yeah,
it does make me wonder and think a little bit about this horse, and maybe this horse really wants a wet track.
yeah. And Coastal Mission, this horse is the class of the field, I imagine. Yeah. What about Coastal Mission?
Was my third pick there, but I think has a big look for sure. Hasn't run as well the last couple times out. And, the Scar Mile was just in too tough, but then came back and kind of ran the same flat race against an easier group in the toboggan.
Yeah, I mean, but that was a 74 group. This is the easiest group this horse has faced. Initially, I'm looking at that and thinking the same thing, but this is a much easier group.
Yeah.
The GSR goes up. The horses earned 400,000 at 8 tries and 14 wins, 7-5 on the EE morning line. It had trouble in the Cigar Mile, plus that was a Cigar Mile, and that was an 82 group.
But I will say that 9 of its wins have come going 2 turns at Charlestown.
Yeah.
9 of the 14 wins.
As Justin would say, I will tell you that the projected trip for this horse could be wide.
Yeah.
If you like, Mark says you like the 2, you got to like the 6 horse, Curbstone. But I'm completely throwing this race out though for the 2, who was 5-2 in that race. This horse was 16-1 and barely got up there. So and 9 wins. I think the 2 is better than the 6, but the 6 is the EE long shot. But I personally don't love horses that just get up late like this, because they're always at the mercy, and I just play against horses like this. I would like the 2 way better as a long shot than the EquinEdge, the 6 horse.
Yeah, I didn't love the 6 horse either.
Okay, where to now?
Race 7, Aqueduct, the Busher Stakes, which Busher was the name of one of my junior high gym teacher.
Mr. Butcher? Mr. Busher?
Mr. Busher, yes.
Mr. Busher.
So, Scotty, I was thinking this is not a great field either for a stakes race. You have a lot of horses here that just don't want to win. You have a Chad Brown, you have a Brad Cox here. Interesting, though, that Manny's riding for Brad Cox here and not Chad, who he normally rides for. But I had a lot of interest here, Scotty, in the second pick, Nilo's Rose, who is 20-1 on the morning line, but 6-1 on the E morning line.
Yeah.
And, is moving up in class, but has won those previous 2 races pretty easily, and might have the ability to make that move successfully here against a bunch of horses that don't like to win.
Yeah. It's the EquinEdge second pick as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, there's it's got the top GSR tied with the 8 horse, and She's Fascinating, and it finishes second on the race simulator. The one Liam in the Dusk is 30%, but I don't like horses with style like this personally. I know it got third in the Damoiselle grade 2 at Aqueduct, but that was 9 furlongs. It's a 1 turn mile, and
Yeah, I didn't love this horse either.
Yeah.
On top, um, you know, needs to break really well. Like very, I think needs the lead here
Yeah.
for percent.
Let's take a look at this 8 horse who just broke its maiden. You know, I find these maiden horses that break their maidens so impressively like this off of a layoff that the trainer probably has figured out, you know, the issues with this horse in a wide open race. You know, and I don't usually love horses that break their maidens first time against winners, but if Dutrow believes this horse belongs in a stakes race, he's probably figured some stuff out with this horse. It wouldn't be surprised if. I don't think you can, and you're going to get a price too, especially if you think Liam in the Dust is vulnerable. And then, you know, this horse looks like a decent horse, but that was a non-Winnesatu lifetime race. Then She's Fascinating is a pretty fascinating horse.
Well played there with the turn of phrase, Scotty. And I think the two other favorites, the 9 and the 2, both have a shot here. I don't like the 9's last race, but did stumble at the break, so you know may have a little more there than I realized, but you know barely won in breaking its maiden in the slop. So I wonder how good this horse actually is.
Yeah.
And then the 2 Ramify, you know, didn't show anything last time out either.
No. It barely broke its maiden. You know, they're taking a chance in this thing, but She's Fascinating is going to be my top pick in this race. I'm going to go with the 8.
All right, and I'm the 7 Nilo's Rose.
Okay. Okay, oldie 7, 8 for me, and I imagine we're going to race 8.
We are, yes.
All right.
Grade 3 Gotham Stakes. It's interesting that this is a bigger field than the Gulfstream race, even though the purse is smaller.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of New York breds here, too.
So is it all about Sacrosanct?
No, I think that, so Scotty, I think the pace is, and I was talking to Justin about this in the WhatsApp chat earlier in the week. I think the pace is going to melt here.
Okay.
And so my top pick is the 8 McAfee, who I have a note on in that last race that it didn't win, that it was squeezed on the rail. And if that didn't happen, it would have won. So it was basically squeezed by the horse that didn't win. So it didn't get, so the horse that won didn't get taken down. But I think that this horse, big GSR there, for Dutrow is going to be your top closer here. And I think that you're going to see a pace meltdown here when you look at all these clustered pace numbers from flood zone up to sacrosanct.
Yeah. And Sand Devils 9-5 on the odds makers morning line, but it's 3-1 on the EE morning line. The horse has done nothing wrong, was 34%, has moved up the class ladder. Can it go up again and win? This race came up tough. Actually, it's a 78 SOR. It's pretty good for a grade 3, a 78. I'm surprised it's a grade 3, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know why this is not at least a grade 2, but this horse has not faced big fields and it's barely won. What can we expect from this 3-year-old?
I mean, all these horses need to be forwardly placed and need to be on or near the lead, and that's what I'm saying here is I think this pace is going to melt, and I think Sand Devil and Sacrosanct probably will be, are probably going to go pretty fast early here.
Though, I mean, this horse has been, is a very tough horse when he gets the lead. And there's no doubt that Franco, who's been aboard for all 4 lifetime wins, is going to lead with this horse. And when there's a bunch of horses that need the lead, and you have one that's going to most likely get the lead, speed kills speed. And so, but I don't necessarily, I think there's like Sand Devil might be able to rate. It looks like this horse can rate a little bit. Even Normandy Coast looks like it can rate some, right? So, but to your point, they might need to be near the lead, though. I think it's too soon to know which ones are that way. But this is a scary race. I mean, you could get any kind of price here. I don't, if this is a mandatory race in the NHC, I don't know what I'm doing in here. Actually, like, this is not an easy one. You're taking a horse that's got a just tremendous GSR, but man, I hate that. I mean, they cared they thought so little of this horse. They put the horse in a starter allowance race, and it didn't even win.
And again, I have a note on why it didn't win, though. I have a trouble note that's not in the
trouble line.
Color. Yeah,
right.
Trouble line there.
What was the issue with the horse?
It was squeezed on the rail as it was coming through. So it was actually coming through and was going to win the race, and basically got hammered and stopped by the horse to its outside.
Matt says that the 8 horse is going to scratch. So, yeah.
Okay, well, there goes that.
Thank you, Matt. Oh, he's going to run in the Park Stakes.
That doesn't change my opinion of how the race is going to play out, though. And my second pick also was, so I guess would become my top pick, was Calling Card, the 3 horse. Coming in from Fairgrounds.
Yeah, Save the Clock likes the 3 horse.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see that. This horse had trouble in Le Comte. I mean, big time trouble. And there was 12 horses in the race. The race before that, where it got third, it had some trouble. And it broke its maiden by 17 lengths and change. I mean, maybe it's this good. It's been facing open company. This looks like it's a New York bred race more than anything. No, that's not entirely true, but half the field is New York bred.
Yeah. And it looks like it came out of the LeCompte and is running, so that there's some big work since that LeCompte race.
Let's see here. Yeah, bullet here, 6 of 131, 4 of 89. Yeah, a couple of bullets. I like the spacing. Yeah, tough race. So you're going to go with who?
Well, so I will be 3-4 there.
You're going to go 3-4. All right. So Calling Card, who's 20-1 on the EE Morning Line, but is going up in GSR. By the way, this horse. Okay, that makes me want to look at this.
It didn't like the slop.
Yeah, I didn't like the slop. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was wet GSR.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's a wet GSR. Okay, that's actually a big one there actually. Yeah, that was kind of the same scenario. Reminds me of what happened with that 43-1 shot that Justin chose a couple of weeks ago, right? Because that horse had run in the slop, the one he chose, and then got on the dirt, and the number went way up, and so you can see the horse jumping from a 59 to 76.
It was actually the same race. It was that LeCompte race.
Was it really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So you're going with 3-4. I like this 3 here. I think you might be onto something here, actually. And yeah.
Yeah. So something's up with the 10 horse. Matthew mentioned the 10, but I saw some discussion between the trainer and one of the owners on social media.
Oh,
where
really?
The owners aren't coming in for the race.
Why?
Uh, it sounded like that they weren't all that confident that it was worth running the horse in the race.
The horse is 2% to win from a 40%. It won last time out, but it was 40% to win, you guys. Non-win is a 2 lifetime. You can't let the running lines like sway you. There's metrics for a reason. GSR is on the low side. It's 25 to 1 on the EE morning line. These are different morning lines. This horse has got no shot. I'm sorry. There's no shot. No. What about Garamond, who's 22% to win? This horse broke its maiden for Chad Brown last time out at Tampa. Usually if you're training down here and you send your horse to Tampa, it's because your horse is not as good. Usually, not always. Is that the case here?
I will tell you, no, I don't think so. So Chad sends a lot of horses to Tampa to run his maidens and then brings them elsewhere. And you look at these works on this horse. But
yeah, that's good.
This horse broke slow and rushed up.
Yeah.
In that race. So if it doesn't break better in this race with the speed that's here, I think it's not going to be able to pull that.
Yeah. Yeah. We've gone over almost every horse in this race, and I just don't think you're beating the 4 horse. I hate to take chalk, but I'm going to go with the 4. But I like the 3 though. I'm actually going to go 4, 3, and 5. 4, 3, 5. All
right. So maybe the 8 is staying in. There's 2. We have competing opinions about the 8 as to whether it's scratching or not.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to what race are we going now?
Santa Anita race 3.
All right. Santa Anita race number 3. Man, we've had a lot of races to cover tonight, haven't we? It's a big weekend.
Yeah, big weekend. You have the Fountain of Youth, the Gotham, and the Big Cap card. So,
I'm going to play in that tournament. What is the tournament that's going to be on Saturday as well? What is it called?
Flow? Is that the Flow Cal?
It's the Ultimate Betting Challenge. That's right. It's all the races at Santa Anita and all the races at Gulfstream on Saturday. It's a big entry too. I think it's like $5,000 or $6,000. Is that what it is? But it's definitely going to play in that for sure. But it's not going to be easy too. You're going to have to really, look at all the races and then know ahead of time which ones you want to play, and then maybe just hit those hard, because so far at the races we've looked at, they look tough.
For sure.
All right. So race number.
Good practice for the NHC though of having a plan.
For sure. In fact, hopefully the races are out. I think we usually have the races out 5 or 6 days ahead of time, and this year I'm hoping, my plan is anyways, to handicap all races for Friday and Saturday before I even show up to Vegas.
All right, I'm going to ask you when I see you in Vegas how many of those races you have done.
I want to do them all. I'm going to do them all. I promise you. You. Yep. I have no choice. I'm going to have to put that time in. I have a busy schedule, but it doesn't matter. Like I want to be as prepared as I can be. All right, Santa Anita here. Who are you on? It looks like there's a bunch of them. There does seem to be some speed in here with the 7 horse. He doesn't seem to carry that though. The who's tactical? It looks like the 5 and 6 and 1 are somewhat tactical. The 1 could save a trip on the inside, and this horse stumbled last time out, and this horse is tactical and saves ground on the inside. I think the 1 already to me looks like a good play.
Yeah, so I like the 3 Liguria. Former Chad Brown was running in grade 1s, second time with McCarthy, and gets Pratt there.
Yeah.
I think has a big luck.
It's never a good thing taking over for a horse from Chad Brown. Has it ever been a good situation for anybody? I don't know.
Possibly not. But McCarthy's been his horses have been winning pretty nicely, and he's had a lot of live horses there. So
Yeah. I mean, they faced a 66 group last time out, and but that was off of a long layoff. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
Now this horse is in a grade 2. You're asking a lot. I mean, they're asking a lot for this horse to run good in this grade 2 race. It's a much tougher race than last time out. It is 7-2 on the EE morning line. Yeah, it looks like a wide open race. This is a step up in class as well for this one horse who's 5-horse Rashmi. Won the megahertz. One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best turn of foot horses I've ever seen in my life. Megahertz, tiny filly. But yeah.
I just wonder how good that megahertz was. Liguria was coming off that big layoff, and Rashimi kind of took advantage there. But I think that there's a possibility to turn the tables there. That this horse has been mainly beating 58s and 56s before that race.
It was kind of moving. You could see where this horse was going. I mean, it was beating horses very easily. It's lightly raced. I can understand why you'd say that. I mean, I think maybe this horse is really coming around, and kind of looking at this and thinking that this horse was 30% to win the megahertz. That's interesting. And this horse broke from the 11 hole in the American Oaks and only lost by 6 lengths. So that's not a 25-1. Like, there just doesn't seem to be all that much in here. I mean, this horse the one horse broke a nominus of 3 lifetime, did it easily, but still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so
I also like the 2 uncorked a little bit, just from a class standpoint. But it has kind of burnt money.
Yeah, but it's done it against better horses than this.
Yeah.
I could see
Tomato and Frasier.
I could see the 2. And then what about a horse like the 6 Alpha Bella for John Sadler? I mean, this horse has been running good races. It's been right there in graded races as well.
I didn't love this horse. I mean, I think it's more, even though the GSR says it's fine on both. I mean, Sadler's been running the horse on the dirt, and it's been just missing. So now he's going to try to get it back to the turf, but it was running long on the turf for Pletcher when it was winning.
Yeah.
And it just seems, even for Pletcher, it did a lot of what it's been doing for Sadler, which is kind of just running second.
I'm on the 5. I think this filly's the real deal. I think she's coming into this in really good form, probably a lot of confidence. That was nice effort in the grade 1. The rest of these are non-graded stakes race, grade 3 type of horses. Even in this grade 2 here, that was a cheap grade 2. I know the horse has nice GSRs, but facing small fields and still not winning those races, so this horse is going to show some speed early, but doesn't seem good enough to win. I'm going to take the up-and-coming horse. I'm going to take the now horse, which seems to be Rashmi, the 5.
All right, and I'm 3-2.
All right, 3-2. Okay. Race number 8. 3 more races to go, guys, and then we're done. Yeah, Uncorked definitely there. Uncorked is definitely a horse that you should consider. Here we have a 74 SOR group, oldie, 3-5 on Barnes. That horse is so freaking impressive. Is Rodriguez a Baffert horse as well?
Yes, Rodriguez is.
Yeah.
So,
are you going that direction?
No, I'm going with Barnes. In interest of fairness, I have some shares of Barnes for the in the Derby futures from Pool 3,
Okay.
as well as the Citizen Bull and a couple others. I also have some shares of Journalism as well, the 2-horse here.
Yeah.
So I ended up here 3-2-4.
I just came away, I didn't love Barnes in the last race, and that horse just proved me wrong and did amazing. This is just such a physical looking, intimidating, just beautiful animal. Look at this number. I mean, Rodriguez is a nice horse. Rodriguez is not this. No. Barnes
Agreed.
yeah. No.
I don't know that we need to spend that much time on this race, but I think it's Barnes, and I think it's Journalism in second and Rodriguez in third.
Yeah. Okay. Race number 9. We finally have a grade 1 race. That was not grade 1.
The Frank.
The Kilroy Mile. And 7-5 on Mi Hermano Ramon. What's going on, Matt Miller?
How you doing, Matt?
What's up, Matt? Thank you, Matt, for the love. We appreciate that. We love you back, and we are always rooting for you, my friend. And it's great to see you doing so good. And we're going to see you at the NHC. Right? Matt's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Goldie. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm going to get I got to get the name tags printed out for the table as well.
Yeah. Yeah, come out and get some coffee mugs and pens, and we've got hats. It's going to be fun. It's going to really be a good time.
For sure.
Okay. Talk us through who you like. You like Mi Hermano Ramon for Mark Blatt, or is it deeper than that?
I thought Mi Hermano Ramon I like underneath, but
okay.
I'm all about the 5-horse Neat here.
Okay.
As my top pick. I was on Neat a lot last year as a 3-year-old. I think that they just ran this horse kind of into the ground in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to fire back fresh here for Rob Atras with Jose shipping in here.
Jose has been riding so good over at Fairgrounds, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
As well as last week at Oak Lawn on Rebel Day as well.
Yeah. He's doing great. For Neat, you can definitely throw out that last race. The horse was waiting on horses and couldn't get through. And then in Kentucky Downs, that was a nice effort. And this is a nice horse. It's 6 wins and 11 tries. I mean, $910,000. Neat is definitely, a good horse, no doubt about it. And the fact that Rob Atras is able to get Jose Ortiz to come on down and ride looks very, very live.
And I think with the speed of Air Force Red and El Patente here, that they're going to go fast enough to make this a really nice setup for Neat too.
Yeah. And El Patente, I mean, 6 wins in 14 races for $250,000 earned. I don't know if I could call this horse a monster, but I would love to have this horse for sure. But I don't know. For me, Oldie, I don't know. This one doesn't get the blood pumping. I think this one's facing, although the win percentage goes up, to be fair. It goes up. So, but
yeah.
I can't call this one a monster. But again, the win percentage goes up. It is 5-1 in the EE morning line, and I won't be playing this one personally.
Yeah, no. Well, it was my second pick, but I will say, does seem to be on the improve. but most of its wins were against far weaker than this group.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has some proving to do in terms of, Air Force Red is just going to do what Air Force Red does, which is go real fast. And it did. Air Force Red did stop last time, and El Patate just took over, but wasn't in with this good of a group of horses.
No,
and have the ability to close.
Well, let's put this in perspective. In 5 tries, going 8 furlongs in the turf, El Patente's earned $150,000. In 5 tries, going 8 furlongs in the turf, Neat has earned $620,000.
Yeah.
Now it's been on the shelf. What?
Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say Neat has been on the shelf for sure, but and the workouts aren't particularly fancy at all or flashy, but she just shows up. The only thing I will say, Oldie, she's scary to back because in the last 3 races that she has won, it's been like barely by a head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, definitely he just seems to find a way. And that's one of the advantages of having Jose aboard here as well.
Yeah.
But I will say that the other horse that I think is being overlooked a little bit is the 4 Formidable Man, who's 6-1 on the morning line and 7-2 on the E morning line.
Yeah.
And is the only Grade 1 winner in this race.
Yeah, won the Hollywood Derby 2 back at Del Mar and won the Del Mar Derby as well. That's not an easy feat. Wow. Was in the Pegasus World Cup Invitational and didn't run a lick. That was a very, very tough field. This is much easier than what was in there. I can understand them taking a chance, but this is a much easier field than what was in there. It's not even close. So, yeah, this is a really tough race. Mi Hermano Ramon. It looks like this is the horse to beat. I mean, this horse only lost by 2 1/4 lengths. So, in the Invitational against 11 other horses, nice spacing. We got Flavian Pratt aboard. The horse barely lost in the San Gabriel. Won the Seabiscuit. What a good race! It's a great race.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean towards the 1 though. The Oldie. I know you've got the you're doing the 5.
Yeah, so I'm 5-3-4 here.
Okay. Oldie 5. Okay. Okay. Race number 10. This will be our last order of business. Another Grade 1. This is the Santa Anita Handicap. Wow. Didn't this used to be $1 million race?
I'll leave that to Chris, but I think so.
Wow.
100%, Scott. It used to be $1 million race.
Wow.
Yeah. Falling on hard times.
Sad.
Wow. Wow. I mean, there's so much. I get it. Like I'm not there in behind the scenes to know the costs and things like that. Okay. So there's no judgment here, but it's just, wow. That's all you can say is wow. I hope somebody in the industry figures this stuff out, but wow. And you can see it too, because it's not drawing the bigger horses in the race. And so you're just talking about a bunch of, look at this, like they're all local. Most of them are local horses, hit shows coming in, but
Yeah.
Doug O'Neill's got JB Strikes Back, who seems to have a long shot look. I mean, this horse is in this race, Miramati, who's seemingly all of a sudden become this monster who had burned so much money in the past. But it just seems like when this horse clears, you can't catch it. Like, it's crazy. If this horse is going to get the lead, and as crazy as this sounds, I like, and it loses the simulated race. So I won't go with this horse, but the last 2 times this horse actually cleared, it won for fun, but that was against a much easier field than what's lined up here. But again, a bunch of local horses other than Hit Show, it looks like, who is a player for Brad Cox. But this one barely won the Grade 3 Louisiana. I don't know. What are you thinking here?
All right, so there is one other horse chipping in here that's the 7 Locked, but I decided to go with the long shot Miramati.
Wow.
Who was the top pace there for the upset, not only because of the pace, but you're also getting 116 pounds there with JJ riding, because it is a handicap race.
Yeah.
And, Locked is carrying 124 and is a slower horse in terms of early speed there.
Yeah.
And it's going to have to be lugging all that extra weight late.
Locked is the horse to beat. I mean, look at it. The horse turned his head last time out against 10 other horses in an 80 field. I mean, I think Pletcher's got them over a barrel. But to answer your question, Matt, here's the thing. Sometimes in what I've seen with some of these tougher races, each metric looks at different things, and you're hoping that it'll line up to something. And that's just not the case here. It didn't line up for whatever reason. But for me, when I look at Hit Show and I look at Locked, it's just not even close. Like, Locked looks like a monster in here. Oldie, talk about this. I'll be right back.
All right, so Locked was the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in 2023. Missed most of 2024. Came back, won easily in an allowance, won the Cigar Mile. Was the favorite in the Pegasus Invitational, but was never going to win that race with that run style from that post at Gulfstream. So, I maybe am a little concerned going 9 furlongs and having been in that tough of a race, wheeling back this fast on a horse that's pretty lightly raced. But, Lock does appear to be the class, and if you don't think Miramati's going to get away on the front end, Locked or Hit Show make a lot of sense. And
for whatever reason, what also happens, Matt, here's the way you want to do this, Matt. This will help. The win percentages, the top win percentage wins 36% of the time. So it's a great algorithm. We actually think we can better that one day when we have time to work on it. But if the way you have to look at this is Hit Show is taking so much of the win percentage that you have to look at Hit Show now very carefully, and you have to make a decision. Do you really dislike Hit Show or not? And if you do, then you throw it out there, and then the win percentage doesn't even matter at this point. You're looking at all the other metrics. That's how I do it. I look at the EquinEdge top pick. Now, I look at the EE morning line, 6-5, just an absolute beast right there. I look at the SOR, it's an 80. I look at the GSR, it's a 99. Like, it's dominant in everything. And for whatever reason, and the system has it wrong a lot, is because so much of the win percentage is going to the 3. That's a big part of it. That's the way you want to look at that. That's the way you want to handicap that anyways. That's the way I'm handicapping it. Every metric is pointing towards the 7 except for the win percentage. And for whatever reason, it fell in love with the 3 horse, who, by the way, has earned $1.4 million in 8 wins. But in my mind, and I'm not as good as the algorithm for sure, but I think that's a mistake. Like, Locked can't be 12%, but it's okay. Like, it's not perfect, but now that's what I have to do now. I have to, right?
Well, and I will tell you, so Locked is down there in the win percentage, but Hit Show is second pick, top win, and tied top GSR there. And, that's going to win over 40% of the time if we're just looking at the metrics. And it does get a horse to watch badge there as well. And, the horse has won grade 2s and grade 3s.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. But with a horse like Locked in the race, Matt, it does. It really, sometimes I'll lose confidence in a situation like this, especially if I'm trying to play favorites. But what I have learned to do is it's also an opportunity for me to get a price on the horse I like. So when that happens, but I have to look at a horse and go, I don't like it. I love it when there's a race where there's two horses that are taking up most of the win percentages, and I don't like either one of those favorites. And I don't even care about the win percentages. I'm looking at everything else, the performance of the horse, and that's the way we find long shots, because all the high win percentage horses, or at least most of them, are going to get bet, right? They're going to get hammered. So I would try not to. Just remember that the win percentages are just one metric. They're so influential, though. I get it. But you also need to remember that this horse is a 64% chance of losing, the 3 horse. So, right. But I think the 3 is a player, obviously. But I think the 7 horse is a major player.
So I went 5, 7, 3 in that order. So the long shot over the first pick over the second pick.
So yeah, I mean, I can see. I don't hate your pick, and it's also 15% to win. And this horse was legendary for how much money people lost on it. It's crazy.
Well, and also how much money they paid for it too.
I know.
This was like a $2 million horse.
Yeah, it's so crazy, so crazy.
But and I do wonder, the 2 horse New King, is this horse in here to be the blocking back, so to speak, for Marabati? Because Baffert does things like that. He's like Formula One, where they have team orders.
That's true. You know who does that better than anybody is Chad Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I would not be shocked if this horse is here to run a little bit of interference like Getaway Car did for Citizen Bull in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the race simulator has the 7. It's 6 to 5. I mean, look at this horse had a poor performance. I say poor performance, but it got 3rd in the Breeders' Cup. Okay, not bad. Then it comes back and just dominates. Exactly what you want to see off of a very long layoff. So clearly something happened in this race in the Breeders' Cup for Todd Place. Something happened. Comes back where a lot of horses do in an optional claiming, came back and just romped. Then goes in the Cigar Mile grade 2, second off of a long layoff, and wins that against 9 other horses. That's huge. Then breaks 11th in the Pegasus with its head turned. Then goes wide and gets 2nd in that race. Stop it already. Like this horse is gonna.
Yeah, but it was nowhere near White Abario in that race. White Abario.
Nobody was beating White Abario in that race. Nobody was beating White Abario. I told anybody that would listen to me, White Abario is gonna kill these horses. That, by the way, and White Abario has foot issues, but when they give that horse time and that horse's feet issues are doing well, that horse is a freak. Everybody knows it. And you got 5-2 on White Abario that day. Forget about it. I'm not hating on this horse for losing to White Abario. Every horse in the country would have lost to White Abario that day. Every single one of them. And this horse had its head turned and runs like that? Nah.
So how about Forever Young versus White Abario in the Breeders' Cup Classic?
I would love to see that. Yeah, I would love to see that. Forever Young, I mean, I've been a big fan of Forever Young as well. So, That was such a huge effort. But the foreign horse, the turf horse that ran on the dirt for the first time was massive as well. That was such a great race.
For sure. Definitely. It was a good start.
It was so
good
good.
way to start the day to roll out of bed and have all that racing on.
No doubt. This is what I think of Hit Show. I think Hit Show is a really nice horse. I really do. Like, it's one of those just good horses that's very consistent. Locked looks like it could be any kind here. So that's what it looks like to me. I'm looking forward to seeing what this horse does the rest of the year. So, yeah, I'm easily on the 7 horse. Let's see if maybe before we go, let's look at Santa Anita, and that is the 9th race, right? Let's see here. All right. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to see if I can get this up. No. I was on the test side. I was going to do a video for you guys, but it looks like they're working on it right now. So, all right. Well, Oldie, great job as usual. Good luck on your picks. And by the way, David Harrison and I have the road to the NHC tomorrow, talking about the feeders and the qualifiers for tomorrow. If you want to join us, that starts at 11:30 Eastern time. And Oldie, you guys have got the stretch run on Saturday, correct?
Correct. And are you going to be joining us for a little while on the stretch run?
I might. I'm going to be playing in that tournament as well that Stronach is putting through. That's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. All of you guys that were joining in the chat too, love it. Like a lot of the OGs we had back there. Thank you guys. Mark, thank you so much. And Dan, of course. Love you, Dan. Thanks, Curtis and Matt. And good luck this weekend. Really, if you guys haven't checked out the road to the NHC, I know it's on a Friday, during the day. So sometimes that's tough for people that have to work, but it's really a lot of fun. And man, there's so much great information, especially from David Harrison. And if you're not familiar with David won the 2022 National Horse Players Championship in Las Vegas. And he came back winning the Silver Sunday. Like, it's not a fluke. And it's legendary, his work ethic, how he prepares for the tournament. And so there's a lot to learn. And of course, we are a sponsor for the NTRA and the NHC. We're going to be out there with a booth, and so hopefully you can come and join us. Even if you want to come out to Vegas and have a good time and see what it's all about, it'll motivate you to want to qualify for the NHC for next year. So we hopefully will see you. Hopefully we'll see you on the show tomorrow in the chat room. And Oldie, thank you so much. Chris, thank you for everything you do as well. Appreciate it. And we will see you guys soon. And close out this show here. I think it's already set up. It is, and we will see you guys soon. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.